Welcome to the fifth in a series of videos where my wife and I are restoring a Victorian greenhouse using mostly reclaimed materials, and it's fair to say, somewhat limited skills.
I've been replaced with screws.
We're at a really exciting stage now, as it's finally time to make the structure watertight-ish by installing the vinegar-treated door, it'll make sense later, and all the second-hand glass. As you'll see, there were definitely a few hiccups along the way.
Oh, it's got into my coat.
But in the end, we think it's turned out pretty fine. So stick around and join us on our journey towards greenhouse greatness. No house, not even a greenhouse, is complete without a door, so that's where we'll start. We had this old thing lying around in a shed, so we thought we'd make use of it. There are a couple of issues to sort out first though, as it's an internal door, a bit knackered, and has some white mould. So first, we'll get rid of all the years of grime and crud with a brush and soapy water. Couldn't find a proper bucket, so I'm actually using a sand castle. Then I've read online that vinegar can be used to treat mould and is supposedly more effective than bleach. Have you ever heard of this before, or is it one of those not so urban myths? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, it's got into my coat.
Then we'll coat it with some wood preserver and finally a lick of white gloss. While we wait for the vinegar to do its thing, and with the greenhouse now smelling like a fish and chip shop, we turn our attention to building the door frame. Again, we're using old scraps of wood that we had lying around, which needed to be sanded and cut to size. This long one wants to go in there. So if you could hold that.
Yes, it's just within my wheelhouse. I've been replaced with screws.
Oh,
Is it level? It's actually level. Like that way round.
Yeah. Feel like I might put another one in there. I won't put another one in there. Now for the moment of truth. Will it fit?
Go on.
smile your fingers.
Yeah.
Do you want to come through this way?
Is this going to leave? Oh no.
Back we go.
Take all the hinges off again. It's time I didn't walk through the doorway.
Take two, after a bit of adjustment with the saw.
Yes.
That's the ticket.
One. Can you push it in that way a bit?
That's no time. Yay, that's great! Look at that! Opens and closes.
We're adding these thin strips of wood so the door has something to close against. Then finally we can add the latch.
You put that in. And then you put this in.
With the vinegar dry and hopefully having killed off the mould, it's over to Mim to add the preserver.
What's next?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Miriam, as it's finally time to turn our collection of sticks into an actual greenhouse by adding the glass. Before we can install it, we need to add strips of wood to hold the glass in place. We cut up some treated boards into 2cm-ish strips, which was a bit of a faff to be honest, as we don't have a table saw. As a result, they're somewhat uneven, but they'll do. This is one of those jobs that seem to go on forever, and we've got to do the same on the inside of each frame too. All in all, there are 12 windows which need 4 strips on each side of the glass, so 96 in total. With that out of the way and a break in the weather, we decided to paint all the bits of wood, including the frame, cladding and the door. Don't worry, we'll spare you the many hours of literally watching paint dry. Here's just the undercoat, and then once that had dried, we added on a couple of layers of gloss. We also painted all the strips of wood that will go on the inside of the glass. It took ages! Now for the glass. The bigger ones will go on the bottom and the smaller ones will go on top. Having been stored rather haphazardly for the past few months, they were fairly filthy, so we gave them a quick clean up first. In this next clip, you'll see me attempting to explain to Mim how we'll install the glass. See if you can spot the moment when I realise that I have absolutely no idea.
Oh! That's perfect! It genuinely does look quite good.
It's even pretty straight.
That's alright, that is. Okay. Now what do we do?
Well, now what we do is take it out, we put some sealant down there, and round there,
Okay.
and round there, and then we
we
get
put
the
it back
bit, then we
in.
put it back in, put the bit of wood down there and hammer that in, and then the bit of wood. Oh, I'll have to put that one in, but then we've got to put the piece of glass on top of here, so I don't quite know how we do that. Fit
That
all
sounds
in.
like the dodgy bit. Okay, got you.
But for now,
We just
take this
very
fella
carefully don't break any glass. So much of my jobs in the garden just involve just holding shit.
just done that.
Just stand there, just defeat gravity just a tiny bit at a time.
Then you good at it.
Yeah, I take it very seriously. Right, you're going at the bottom.
Now, my
first.
worry here is that I end up smashing the window.
Yeah, that's my worry too. Yeah.
That is intense.
Yeah, this is going to be a high octane feeling for us, I think. Yeah, oh, and we get the extra joy of it all being in dodgy bits of wood, so that none of them fit properly, and we have to do that loads of times. Brilliant.
To hold the second piece of glass on top, we're using these Aluminium J clips, which can be bent into a Z to fit the gap. This adjustability is ideal for us because, frankly, nothing we build is consistent.
Right, now... Oh, I forgot. Got to go in first, and then down, so on the outside.
Yeah. I'm moving my fingers.
Oh yeah, get those out of the way. And then can you hold this top one, because I'm not going to be able to hold it.
I'm holding it.
Oh! It's in! Don't look so worried.
I feel really worried. As chief holder, this is
Then it's just a case of hammering in the nails to pin the beading to the glass and hopefully stop everything falling apart.
I'll go through first, and then slide in.
Fingers.
Oh.
This genuinely took forever, and the constant threat of sending glass shards flying everywhere was terrifying. But surprisingly, it looked pretty neat once we'd finished.
Move your head. If in doubt, wedge it in. Oh, I'm a bit worried about that one.
It's in.
Yeah, it's just if the wood expands, which it will when it's wet, it will crush the glass. There's a tiny 2mm gap here where the top of the frame meets what is this conservatory door. And look where that nail is going to go. Right in between it. You couldn't have measured that. Well, I couldn't have.
The glass install was proving emotionally exhausting, so we decided to take a break and install the fascia board and guttering.
Solid.
Once again replaced with a screw.
I accidentally installed the roofing sheets in the previous video with way too much of an overhang. I probably should have measured it, right? So adding these little spaces to screw the gutters into, otherwise the water will fly right over the top. Once one end was in, I could run a line of string to the other end to make sure it's sloping in the right direction, hence the spirit level. This worked like a charm from a broken wand, as you'll see shortly. With the level set, we can crack on with installing all the gutter holders, roughly every metre or so, before clipping in the guttering. This shot was supposed to show the water triumphantly rushing down the gutter in the intended direction. Sadly, it did not.
So, you can't make it up. Despite all that careful measuring, I've managed to make it almost completely flat. Look at that. So all the water's just here. If anything, it's actually pooling at the other end.
But after wedging in a couple more bits of wood, success! We just need to sort out the downpipe, as otherwise this poor little rhubarb plant is going to get absolutely battered. Buoyed on by our guttering achievements, we came back to finish off installing the remaining panes of glass, but straight away hit another stumbling block. Despite measuring the distance between the uprights before screwing it all together, I'd managed to make the gap about 1 centimetre too narrow, so the glass didn't even remotely fit. It was impossible to unscrew everything, so chiselling out a channel in one of the uprights was our only option. What's even more hilarious is that it was my birthday a couple of days after this, and my dad had bought me a multi-tool, thanks Dad, which would have been perfect for this. Dope! This little setback cost us the rest of the weekend, as we had to paint the gap and wait for it to dry. But undeterred, we came back a few days later to finally fit the last couple of frames. Well, I did anyway. Mim had better things to do, like working and earning money. Boring. It's amazing how much warmer it is already with the glass and roof in place. I'm starting to think we might be onto something here. There are still a couple of gaps to fill, most notably the one in the middle of the front wall, but also a couple at the back, but that's for a future video. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll leave you with these gorgeous drone shots.